industries, that our youth will be employed. Many people that attend the church here can tell you.
Service in Holy Rosa is in Bini.
We are taking a canoe tour of the communities on the bank of River Niger in Getso.
This is a picture of River Niger from a location in Tuga in Kebbi State. It never fails to inspire. It never fails to amaze. In my travels across Nigeria, I often pass through this nomadic water body, running through townships and cutting through villages in its eternal journey to the Atlantic. One thing is sure about it: you never come across it without a deep reflection of its influence. Simply put, River Niger is a super story. It creates dreams. It kills them too. I actually have a story to share on how this beautiful river influences life for good and for bad in two states of Kebbi and Kogi states. Gantan Tudu and Gantan Fadama are not names you hear every day. Hear them now. They are small but rich farming communities in Bagu, the local government area of Kebbi State. These villages are floodplains given to large-scale cultivation of rice and maize. A beautiful story is unfolding in these villages, and it is making the nation interested. The people of these communities never saw an elephant in their lives. They woke up to find 3 in their backyard. It is amazing that some event that influence changes in human society occur spontaneously and at locations least expected. Truth is, the sighting of elephants in these communities opens a new horizon of activities. For the villagers, there was awe and anxiety. For the larger society, there is a look at Nigeria's biodiversity and conservation discipline.
We are thrilled by the elephants that are currently in Kebbi, because we believe that Nigeria's resources are coming back. The ecology, some of the measures that have been taken to protect our diversity are working, because what experts have told me in the last few days is that the elephants are settling into a routine which is consistent with the viewpoint that they are accustomed to the area. Maybe they have been there as younger ones, or somehow they have been there. And the area where these elephants are has historically been a migratory route.
I am a fan of conservation matters. While elephants in settled communities where they have not been observed before interests me too, I wanted answers for a lot of questions. So I took the 13-hour road trip from Abuja to the locations. Interestingly, the trip is graphic. First, and strangely, knots on the front tire of our vehicle on the right side, all 5 of them broke off. We almost tumbled over. We abandoned the hapless vehicle and chartered a cab. Eventually, we arrived to Tuga in Bagu, the local government area where a life is unfolding. The road leading to Kaoje from Birnin Kebbi is good. Generally, Kebbi State has good road networks. However, River Niger spills over at Tuga and it encroaches the thoroughfare to Kaoji. The main River Niger has a bridge over it, but its spills are invasive and took over the main road. No thanks to the rainy season. Portugal, the flooding waters was reportedly subsiding. Even motorcycles were making the crossing. Still, however, canoes large and small ferry wayfarers to make it to the bridge. Heavy vehicles negotiate the crossing without support, tracing the edges of the road. Smaller ones are pulled by the nose with their engines off at a price. Apart from people making a market of various food items, there are also women taking advantage of the flooding waters to fish. Our taxi was drawn by its notes at a price, but we crossed the water on foot. Crossing, we marvel at how the river creates challenges and livelihood for the people at the same time. Despite River Niger's penchant for flooding around these areas, this settlement at the edge of the river is never affected by flood. Amazing, obviously, because all around it are flooding waters. We arrived Kaoji, the district headquarters of the two villages. The district head briefed some of his senior councillors to lead us to the villages. Our first port of call was Gantan Tudu. Gantan Tudu and Gantan Padama are 4 kilometers away of each other. In Gantan Tudu, there are 2 elephants, a mother and its baby. In Gantan Padama, there is a bull elephant. The story is accessing where the 2 elephants are at Gantan Tudu is another name for adventure. We linked up with the local community for the trip. The story I told you is simple. The people of Gantantudu in Baguda local government area of Kebbi State woke up to find very strange neighbors. Neighbors that are to keep company of them for close to 2 weeks now. They found elephants, 3 of them. One has a baby, the other one is a male. The issue is, these people have never woken up to find an elephant close to their neighborhoods. Now they have found it. It is a serious challenge. We are going to see all that is going to happen. But the movement to that place, like I told you, has not been anything easy. In fact, we have to go through water. River Niger is passing across by. So we have to pass through the water. So follow us as we go and show you the elephants. They are just not far from this place. We never know what was ahead of us going to this elephant. It was a chasing 3-hour journey through plantations, overgrowth, flooded waters from River Niger and mud. Now, look at us. It is an interesting journey all along. You can see the water is side deep. Obviously, if you make a silly mistake here, you will find yourself deep inside this water, and it is muddy. You can see rice. Patience and expectations guided us through this harsh terrain. The elephants really know how to keep their distance from people. Well, Awuzu, I'm sure you have a fair idea of what it takes to go and see those elephants. At several points, we have to enter water that is almost deep to this our waist. It is a serious matter, but we are going to see the elephants nonetheless. It may sound improbable, but many reporters in our team questioned the wisdom of coming to this environment. More so because at a point, the local community could not locate exactly where the elephants were used to be found. Sentries were mounted instead that can make mere cats grin with envy. Eventually, the elephants were sighted, but going closer demands another rough walk through muddy waters. We elephants now, but distance and terrain could not allow us to have a fully focused visuals here. We tried our best. We retrace our step to Ganten to the village. Here are some key questions keep coming. Where are the elephants from? Are they branded? What is the community response to these elephants?
People are very happy when they heard Giwa, that means elephant, so everybody rushed to go and see.
Oh, beautiful. So the people are happy. What of the crops? Did no complain about their crops?
People have been complaining, and obviously the two village heads, that is Ganten Tudu Magaji himself and the Ganten Fadama, Alaji Bello, they have taken the matter to the district head, and the district head has reported this issue to the chairman of local government. And also the people that are going to see the animal, they are contributed too in destroying the crops.
Well, when we got that information, we told them not to touch them at all because they are endangered species. So we make a public announcement all over the state that nobody should touch those elephants because they are endangered species. So
we moved to Ganten Padama to see the male elephant there. Symbolically, when we arrived, there was a rainbow. It somehow speaks of the mood of the villages regarding these elephants in their land. There was a massive public awareness campaign, however, to all the localities in the area to treat the elephants with the care.
People come all along to come and witness this animal. They have not seen it. You see, I was born in this area. Till I finished my government work, I have never seen an animal in this area.
Like you have never seen elephant in this area?
In this area. Thank God, our excellency have told us that definitely people should go away from the animal. They can stand very far and see the animal, like what we have seen today.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
You see, where it is very close to the water. And the water is so deep that the person cannot swim well. So there is grass and everything. It goes very close to the edge of the river.
Okay. We trekked through farmlands in Ganten Padama to capture the male elephant there. In familiar locations where it used to stay, we couldn't find it. The community told us that it used to go deep into the bush in the afternoons and return at dusk to find sleep. But they show us the areas it used to stay, and it's a picture of reunition.
kana faɗa mun kana cewa ranke nan duk inda yake bacci ne sannan shine yasa bakin shi ya talo gabawa shine yake ci wannan itace bawon shine ya ci wannan bawon shi gaba ɗaya shine giron.
What the district is telling me is that you see the cover of this tree, that male elephant use his mouth or whatever he use just to pull it out and just eat it off. Around you find just pieces of it. See it? It was pulled down by the elephant. Look at the tree. Very strong. If you ask a man to do this, he cannot do it. And no axe could probably do this at once. But the elephant did it. The community leader here told us that the elephants do no harm to local community, but it is a trial on their crops.
So muna da daji muna da ruwa. Muna da kuma abincin da suke biya suna ci. Inda mana yi. Don gerayen mu masaran mu da mu duk gaba ɗaya ta ci gaskiya ci ta kai. Gaskiya.
Amma ta muku mummunan banna ne
sosai ta taba wallahi mugu ta yi banna. Ware.
Gero da masaranku.
Da gero da masara da dawa.
The borderline for now is what happens to these animals in the long run. There is belief for now, however, that more elephants may show up here.
Kebbi State housed the longest trench of River Niger among all the Nigerian states, over 350 kilometers long. And even before these majestic visitors came, we have sensitized communities to appreciate the value of wildlife, particularly the fact that wildlife sometimes actually forewarn us of dangers, and our biodiversity everything is connected. So what we have done since this is to encourage communities in the area to begin to become appreciative of the likelihood that we will convert that area to an abode.
From Kebbi State, I moved to Kogi State, where still River Niger is influencing life, but differently. This is a picture of Lokoja, the Kogi State capital at dusk, how much a landscaping beauty it is. This picture of Lokoja can compare with any picture we see on magazines of people that find fortune out of tourism. It is amazing how I actually set out to link up with an island between Ida in Kogi State and Agenebode in Edo State. It was an island out of River Niger. The story is that group of farmers from Anambra, Enugu, Delta and Edo states form a unique farming culture there. They worked in harmony and they know how to spend the night. I planned to spend a night or two with them. It was not to be. We couldn't put the charges slammed on us by both people in Ida Riverside. As much as the island people, however, the people of Ibaji Area Council in Kogi State have developed a rich farming culture different from their neighbors. Again, it is a culture developed by having River Niger at their backyard.
This is River Niger in its days of glory during the rainy season around Itodima in Ibaji local government area of Kogi State. Actually, I have been following the trail of the river so that I can meet a community. I learned that they hitchhike here so that they can do their agriculture. But then I met the people of Ibaji, who I learned are farmers of no mean status. They produce cassava, yam, rice, and of course, fish in large scale. And they have interesting story to tell.
Across all villages of Ibaji, life is restless. Agriculture has taken over their soul. No one is left behind. All day long, you are confronted by images of vibrant agriculture. The whole environment is under cultivation. No space is wasted. There is the story of this man, Gabriel Odoko Eneke, in Ojolo Ojeba, who symbolized what farming means to an Ibaji person.
There's something interesting about cultivation of yam, rice, cassava, and maize in Ibaji. It is almost a ritual. In fact, it is unheard of that any male or female of Ibaji will grow up to the age of 18 and he doesn't go to the farm. Yeah. And it's that much is confirmed by my friend here, Gabriel. Yeah. Gabriel is busy working.
If you don't go to the farm, they regard you as a useless person, as a lazy man. So once you are not a farmer, you are not doing something on the farm, no, Ibaji man will hate you till at the end of your life. But if an average Ibaji man, an elder sees you on the farm, he will even run to come and help you do the work on the farm.
Actually, Mr. Gabriel is a director in the local government here in Ibaji. He has to remove his toga and come and be a farmer, right?
Yes. I do. When I go to work, immediately after finishing with work, nothing holds me in my working place. I have to come immediately to my farm. And from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and even Saturday, is an added opportunity for me to be on the farm. I don't go anywhere apart from going to my farm unless I am called to another duty.
It is just wonderful. The people of Ibaji are adept at rice, yam, and cassava cultivation. They even have a technology that allows their yam to grow as big as a growing baby. They speak glowingly of local rice too.
Honestly, we don't buy food items from the market. If not these days, things are very hard for us. Even if as you see me, I'm a deputy director now, but I still have my farm a lot. When salary doesn't come, I don't bother. I get something from the farm, and that is what I use mostly to train my children.
What you are able to cultivate?
Yes, what I'm able to cultivate, it assists me in paying the school fees of my children when salary doesn't come.
How many children do you have?
I have up to 6.
And what's
almost 4. Maize is not in abundant production. But for rice, I don't buy rice from the market. And what is called foreign rice, no. We don't take it in Ibaji. It's even our own rice is by far better compared to this foreign rice they are bringing from Thailand, from anywhere. We don't buy it.
And you are happy, you are healthy, you are...
Very healthy, very healthy. Our own rice is more nutritious than the foreign rice they are bringing to Nigeria. I have 4 hectares of yam.
And how...
A hectare is giving me no less than 2,400.
400 pieces of yam? 2,000
tubers of yam when it's harvested. The year that yam goes well and the weather is okay, I don't care for government work.
It is not market day in Ibaji. Market comes every 4 days. So when we arrive in Ibaji, it wasn't market day. So you cannot see the sample of the yam either in the farms or around the areas. But in Ida, you can see the sample of the yam. They are giant yams. You can see, this is one of the yam that they have. Even this one is a dwarf in the estimation of the yam that they produce.
Mr. Thompson is also a director in Ibaji local government area. We actually initially checked him in Ibaji liaison office in Ida in order to give us a guide through Ibaji local government area. He left a word that he traveled to Lokoja. It was an executive lie. Actually, he left office for his farms. He never thought for once we would be at his farm.
We were told he traveled.
That's the excuse I give, so I have to come and check my staff on the farm.
Okay.
Yes.
So actually you are coming to the farm?
Yes. If you don't dodge yourself into this one,
yes.
The situation we are going now, you find yourself very hard in future to come.
Mr. Thompson has farmlands for rice, yam and cassava. He guided us through all. His story is amazing too.
This is a vast and fertile rice ground in Todima, in Ibaji local government area of Kogi State. Very beautiful growth if you ask me. But then the people here told me that this rice, good as it is, it has to be cultivated in under 1 month from now. Otherwise, they may lose it to flood. Proximity to River Niger, although blissful, is not always the way they want it. I have a farmer here, Augusta. You are coming back from the farm.
Yes, sir.
You are a rice farmer here.
I'm a rice farmer, yes, sir.
They told me that you have to cultivate this your rice in under 1 month. Come closer now.
Yes.
Yeah.
If not, just one day, the river will just carry the water, the rice away. Just one day, if there's a lake here, if the lake just enter, just one day, you just carry it away. If you cannot avoid this thing, just 1 month, the next, maybe anything on 25 of this month, we have to harvest this. If not, the water will just carry it away.
Tell me whether it is ripe or even if it is not ripe.
Whether it's ripe, whether it's not ripe, if you don't harvest it before 25 of this month, the water will just carry it away.
It can be how many hectares here? I can see it's a very big land.
Very big land.
It reaches up to how many hectares?
About 40-45 acres of land.
Of rice?
Yes.
Okay, so being close to River Niger now has its effect on you?
Yes.
Okay, but you get the rice very well?
Get the vibe very well.
It's good?
It's very, very, very good rice.
So
good rice.
Yeah.
It's a nice rice.
And you cultivate it much?
Yes, as much as you want.
Okay, how many rice do you cultivate? How many bags of rice do you cultivate?
This year, I cultivate 10 bags of rice. 10 bags this year.
It is rare that you find people as much obsessed with agriculture like the people of Ibaji. Surely, though, it guaranteed them self-sufficiency and contentment. The good news for the people of Ibaji is that federal government is availing them with the fertilizer in adequate quantity and on time. This is a long queue for the collection of fertilizer at Onyedega, Ibaji local government headquarters. For the people of Ibaji, they have a firm belief that if they could have a good intervention in procuring agricultural load and access to good road, as they have a fertilizer, they will be good enough to supply the yam, cassava, and rice needs of the nation. And they are serious about it.
When we have love, we'll be able to unite, irrespective of tribe, religion, and culture. So we keep preaching on love. That is the only binding force. Let us love ourselves, irrespective of where the person comes from.
You are about to witness the commencement of the most stimulating and compelling contest on television. This contest is only for the strong, the intelligent, and the talented. Get ready for the Unity Challenge reality TV show. Coming soon.
I'm Deputy Controller of Customs Joseph Atta, the spokesman for the joint security exercise. Over a period of time, either through indifference or deliberate non-compliance to the ECOWAS protocol on transit of goods by our neighbors, the Nigeria Customs Service have been raising this issue. MOUs were signed severally. They were broken as soon as they were signed. We've seized over 32,050 kg bags of rice. And that is a huge impact. And then the fact that the coming in of this foreign rice have been completely shut down. We've gone around, we've received testimonies of farmers who, before now, found it difficult to sell one truck on a market day. These people say it now that those who could not sell one can now sell up to 20 trucks.
The place that unites Nigeria.
From Toronto, shake yaro, nothing like it go. This jam that you feeling, you know we feel so much. But the one shall I go change it so. Hey, I've been over changing the one. Change is always constant. Oh yeah, change your style and change your pattern. See, it's a name, a better venture. Something want to happen, and it's something I cannot tell you.
2020.
Kill it. Thank you so much. Wonderful. It's a new year. Did you check? It's 2020, people. This is that talismanic year. Everybody have been saying we'll do this by 2020.
Vision 2020.
Vision 2020. Did you see the vision? Is it clear? We have arrived 2020 and we are still having beautiful conversations here on NTA Network. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
My name is Rita. We started dancing because we're happy. I know you're happy you've seen this year and you should dance. I mean, it's good exercise and it makes you forget things sometimes that you want to forget and makes you remember things that you need to remember. Because if you're getting into a new year, you want to think about what you've done in the last year and what you plan to achieve for the new year. Now, I'm not one to preach about New Year resolution, but we'll talk about it on the show today. Welcome. Did I say it before? Okay, my name is Rita. And as usual, what is the conversation if you're alone? That's why we'll have you. But I'm not alone in the studio.
Well, she's looking at me. That means introduce yourself.
Exactly. You're so smart.
I am Dr. Mrs. Jennifer Brimer, President and CEO, Intensive Rescue Foundation International. Welcome to the show.
My name is Chikuma.
Guy in the house.
I'm the only man in the midst of women.
Blessed are you amongst women. Happy New Year.
I'll say Happy New Year. Welcome to 2020. Welcome to the year of money.
Yes.
I'm a money-making man. You know, I'm
Money
my own
moves.
MMM, money-making man. Not the other MMM.
Not Mavrodi.
MMM, money-making man. I'm a business coach. I do coach business. Anything that's business, contact me.
When you say money, his ear stands like
that's
this.
me.
Yes.
Well, as usual, my name is Njideka Asuzu. I'm a nutritional biochemist. I'm a public health practitioner, and I'm also a chartered accountant. So I'd like to welcome you to the beautiful 2020. Like you said.
I have something to say. Why is it that I'm the only one who don't get to say I am a this and I am a that? I'm going to introduce myself.
Please, go ahead.
Mbok. Only you waka come.
I'm a broadcaster. I'm an official MC. I love MCing wedding, you know. Should I continue?
Yes, please.
We'll stop for now. Let's just go into the show.
Okay, right. I think it would be fantastic if we hold hands and just say Happy New Year to our audience.
Happy New Year!
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys, they're not ready to marry.
Yes. See if she wants to ask something. No, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I said,
calls for a level of seriousness with Nigerians, seriousness with everybody around the globe. People should take priorities in when you want to do something, you should please go ahead and do those things to achieve positive results. Procrastination shouldn't be given any room into the year 2020. I want to do this, I'm going to do that, all these are trash as far as I'm concerned. So let 2020 be a year of good projection and a good year of positivity.
Like last year, I didn't visit my fellow Christian during Christmas period. By God's grace, this year, I will try my best to visit my friends, fellow Christians.
In 2020,
I've discovered that self-love is very, very important. So I want to pay a lot of attention to myself in terms of my daily activity and everything I do. I think I want to love myself more in 2020.
What should we do? We came on set dancing because we're super happy, but we also want to take a chill and look at the 12 months ahead of us and decide what we want to do with it. I love setting targets and crashing them. If I don't meet them, I don't kill myself. I just re-strategize. That's how I operate.
Way to go.
But when it comes to New Year resolution, it's not exactly my cup of tea. But we're going to go around the couch and see what everyone thinks about making New Year resolutions and how they go about achieving or maintaining this resolution. Are you one of those who make a resolution and it lasts
3 days?
10 seconds. Let me start with Njideka this time. Talk to us about a New Year resolution and what you plan to do. And how does it always work out for you?
What I plan to do?
No, how does it work out for you normally when you get into a new year such as this?
Well, I would say usually it's the same for everyone. You know, there's this euphoria about it's the new year. And you all get so excited. You know, it's like you're being at the beginning of a tunnel. And you're looking down to the end of the tunnel. You imagine so many things that could be down this beautiful tunnel. So you try to plan and think of the things you would like to achieve during the year and all that. And but really, it comes with so much excitement. But more often than not, you know, when you don't have good plans, or you have good plans, and as the year goes by, some of those things are not coming out as you planned them or as you would have loved it to happen. You get disappointed. But by and large, I think for me and for every other person, the new year comes with so much expectations, and you hope and wish and plan that you always have this thing, it's going to be better than last year. You're always going to be better than last year.
How does it work for you, Chukwuma?
Well, for me, I do what I call appraisal. I call appraisals. I call the year, when we're about to start a year, I sit down to look at what I did last year. Then I check areas of failures and areas of successes and tools that helped in the successes and why I failed, the areas I failed. Then if there are carryovers to be done, I do the carryovers, especially I always set a target for myself.
You do?
I set a target for family. Others call it New Year resolution. I call it target. I set a target for family. I set a target for my spiritual life. Then I set a target for money. I always want to have a particular amount of money.
I would have been surprised if you didn't say the money part.
I always have a particular amount of money. I always say, okay, I'm going to work towards saving this amount of money. I also set target for business because I always want to see if businesses I had started in the last years are progressing, what am I going to do again? Because
a new stream of income.
Yes, because if you every time you're idle, you're wasting. And if you don't give yourself challenge, you'll be idle. And what I do is that my target sets my pace. I keep looking at my target and I keep working. And I follow it like someone is watching me. I go to the book and I ask, okay, I said from January to March, this is what I'm going to do. Sometimes it doesn't work January to March. What I intend to do in March, I might do in December. What I intend to do in December, I might find myself doing in January. Now, I write them out as they come into my head, but I follow them out. The most importantly is that by the 31st of that year,
you've done everything.
I've been able to achieve all, if not all, at least 70%. And I always tell people, there is no need hurrying. I am not the type that do Christmas clothes. I'm not the type that do New Year clothes. You know why?
Even for the children?
You know why? It gives us, I'm not always under pressure because 25th December 2020 has given us a notice. So everybody knows that today is 1st of January 2020. 25th will be Christmas. So if you want to eat any kind of meat on the 25th, this is the time to plan for it.
Now,
not afterwards that you're hurrying yourself.
The place of planning there, let's hear from Doc.
Well, you know the thing about fresh starts or new beginnings.
Yes.
That is what the new year is for. For me, and I expect for a lot of people, based on what Njideka and Chuks have just said.
Yeah.
So for me, the new year is the time to press the restart button, clean the slate and start afresh, right? Take stock of what happened in the year before and make plans going forward. It's like weight loss. You want to lose weight? Let's say, for example, you're 40 years old today and you are like 120 kgs. And you're a
That's
woman.
scary.
Yes.
Okay.
And you want to lose that weight. You're not going to lose that weight overnight. It took you 40 years to get to 120 kg. So it's going to take you a few weeks, a few months, a few years to get the pounds off. So the first thing you do is you admit you have that problem. So you're taking stock now. What did I do last year that did not work?
Since you took us there,
Yes.
let me go to Njideka.
Yes.
Because I actually want to talk to you about weight loss. Now, a lot of people set target for themselves. Yes. The Yuletide season is when we eat. And eat. And then we eat some more. Right? And before you know what is happening, it's so easy to add weight. Have you noticed? Like, guys, you just eat, drink, and before you know what is happening, you get on the scale and you come down and look whether someone else was up there with you. No, it's just you.
Say to you one at a time, please.
It's just you. If you set yourself a target to say you want to manage your weight or stay healthy, how do you plan that within a year's period or maybe less?
Okay, you're talking about weight loss, really. The bottom line is I tell people, and that is what it is, truly, because you see, you need to understand the biochemistry of the human body before you can effectively discuss weight loss. Weight loss is not about what you eat. Let me say it. It's about what you don't eat.
I want to hear that.
Weight loss is not about what you eat. I mean weight loss. I'm not talking about weight gain.
Yes.
Weight loss is not about what you eat.
Yes. We're talking about gain.
Yes. Weight loss is not about what you eat, but about what you don't eat. By that, I'll explain. Some people have this mistaken belief that they need to eat certain food to lose weight. There's no food. Oh, if I drink more lemon, they say coffee makes you lose weight. There's no food that has the ability to melt fat. That is fallacy.
Oh, really?
What actually happens, you need to reset your metabolism by not eating certain things. Weight loss is not about what you eat, but about what you don't eat.
Are you jotting?
So the things you're not eating are the things that will help you to lose weight. Example, you're eating too much refined sugar, carbohydrates, and all those kind of things. So when you stop eating them, the things you don't eat are the things that make you lose weight, not what you eat.
Did you see how voice just changed to that of a teacher?
That makes you lose weight.
It's
you need to switch your metabolism from using carbohydrates and sugars to alternative source of fuel. Because really, when you consume sugars and carbohydrates, it causes your body to accumulate fat.
Great.
It's not the fat.
One thing I've learned, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that I think works for me, because the one thing I'm worried about when it comes to weight is having weight around here, okay?
The chukuma kind of weight. The chukuma kind of weight.
Yes, abdominal fat is one of the things I fear the most. And not eating late is something that has worked for me. I don't do it religiously, right? I sleep once in a while, but I make a conscious effort to try not to eat beyond 7:30, maybe 8. That's even bad. Some people will tell you 6 o'clock. How does that work?
I think you are in order. Because first thing is this, there's really nothing, when we teach about health, the things you eat, you don't eat, and all that. A lot of times, by the time you go through all the rhythm, and you keep mentioning this and that, everybody says, what is left for me to eat now? Doesn't mean I don't have anything to eat.
There's a lot to eat,
So the truth of the matter is that sometimes, somehow, you're going to have to eat some things. But the thing is, like I always say, who is involved? And to what extent are you abusing your body? Let me call it abuse. You understand?
What do you do with your body after eating these things?
You've already said that you're conscious of it. Once in a while you err. So it's not the once in a while that is a problem. It's when it becomes habitual.
Okay.
It's a regular thing. So
Great.
because you're a human being, you're bound to delve into some things you shouldn't do once in a while, irrespective of the situation. But the thing is, how often
do you do this?
Yes. Then when you're also someone that has a strict health goal, you understand. I only like using diabetes patients for an example. Or even let's continue with the weight loss we're talking about. I'm weighing 120 kg. I'm extremely hypertensive. You're almost tending to have a cardiovascular diseases. Now, my attitude towards weight loss, should it be the same thing as someone that is weighing 75 that just wants to lose a little bit of weight?
Within Jideka, you need to watch it before you gradually slide into a health talk show. Because, exactly.
We're already there.
We're there already. With this too, you can't be too sure. If you started, you just go right into what dose of medicine to take when. And before you know what is happening, we forget it's a new year. We want to keep it light and talk about money now. Right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a new year. well, you know, a lot happens.
Well, really, Rita, I need to. Well, in the new year, you need to keep your shape.
Wait a while.
You need to keep your shape.
Easy.
We shouldn't.
Easy.
Enjoy.
We're going to do a weight losing show.
Weight loss show.
And leave the two of you to unleash.
Yes.
Right? Okay. But you know, it's a new year and people will definitely set goals for themselves in terms of I want to stay healthy, what they need to do. We'll talk more about that. I'm sure you're itching to say something about that. So I think I'm going to let you say that. But you should buckle up because we need to make money, right?
This is it.
And we need to save money, most importantly, because people make money and it just goes off. And it's not about how much you make, but what are you really saving and what are you doing with what you're making? But add to what she said before we go to our brother.
The thing about weight loss is you have to do your research. Right? Because the first thing that you see when these scam artists want to sell you something, they tell you, if you take this, it will melt this. If you take that, it will melt that. All sorts of concoction, boiled plantain, the back of pawpaw, all of that. Do your research, first of all. And then, like I said earlier, it took you 40 years to get to 120 kg. It's not going to disappear overnight.
Patient.
So you need to be patient and set a reasonable and a sustainable goal for yourself.
So there was a time I tried to do that and I was told if you want to lose 10 kg, target 2 at a time or 1 at a time. When you lose that 2, then you can move on. So you're not discouraged.
Set a reasonable goal. Set a goal that is sustainable and that is realistic. Right? And then you need tools to help you achieve your goal at the end of the day. What are your tools? You need to have a good size trainers, not the one that will squeeze the life out of your toes and you lose your toenails.
2020, buy yourself a trainer.
Right? You need a good...
Actually be a size, your trainer should actually be one size bigger than your
one size bigger, right? You need good stocking to, you know, pad up your feet. You need good... So your comfort is at the key of all of this that I'm saying. Otherwise, every morning when you wake up, oh my God, I don't want to wear that tight shoe.
Once you feel a pain in your leg, the
tight shoe,
first time you went out, you don't want to go to
the tight shoe is the excuse. The next thing you know, you're up to 140, right? So comfortable shoes, comfortable sock. Get good outfits. You don't have to jog like you're going to the Olympics. You're not competing with anybody. Take a power walk. Take a regular walk. Take a cruise walk.
Skip.
Jog lightly if you want.
Skip.
Go up and down the staircase. Use a hula hoop if you want.
What's hula hoop?
The round circular thing that people put on their
You want to do like this. In case you're wondering like me.
rope. Yes.
Yeah,
use a
that's
skipping
hula
rope.
hoop. Okay.
If you don't even have to go and buy the fancy one if you don't want to. Get one of the lines in your house for hanging your clothes and turn it into a skipping rope.
Okay.
We know but you have to just set a realistic
do something.
goal.
I warned us before I came to her that they might drag us into health. And we want to stay healthy.
It has to be realistic, whatever you do.
We want to stay healthy in 2020, but we want to make money.
Of course. So let's talk about money.
And save money.
Yes.
So this is the money machine.
And that's the money man.
Wow.
Chuka,
all right.
See, here's the thing. A lot of people wonder about how, especially when it comes to alternative means of income. A lot of people have their pay job, some are into business. Maybe you've run out of loss in the last year. And this is a new year, and you're thinking, what does this year hold for me? What would you be saying to people who are thinking of money problems entering 2020?
Well, money problems are everything.
Yes.
They keep outgoing. They are the challenges.
You don't have money problems.
As long as you are alive.
Every man living has a money problem.
Okay.
Now, some might be, they've not reached the level they want to get to. It might not be for your personal feeding. It could be for the people around you that you want to help. It might be the project you want to embark upon. It might be the social responsibility you want to take on. So some of those things come with money problems.
Yes.
Now, for 2020, one area I'm going to talk to two categories of people. First, the categories of those who work but want to get involved in something. I've been thinking on collaborations recently, and one of the things I'm going to key into 2020 a lot is collaboration. Most Nigerians don't understand collaboration. Now, you see a lady or a man working who makes extra income, but because of lack of trust, he wrongly invests that money, and before you know it goes off. That's why a lot of us run into the MMM, the one chance people.
Not the money making.
All those quick because they felt like, oh, do it quick and go out. Those are not the targets you need to set for yourself in 2020. Now, if you have like-minded friends, now begin to think of something that your money can be working while you are also working.
You can crowdfund the project.
Yes, crowdfund the project. Yes, and make sure that it's working. Now, it works abroad, and we applaud them. Now, why most of the time it fails in Nigeria is because of one, greed. Now, we are planning to do something, and I'm already thinking of being in an advantage position before you. If it's something that's supposed to cost 10 naira, I'm giving you 12 naira. You see that when I notice that trust, it's gone. So if you're going to go into business in 2020 with other people, make sure that everybody is laying the cards on the table.
Yes.
You have to be transparent, and your partners should be transparent. If you suspect any kind of deceit, run away, because
so be safety conscious.
Safety conscious.
That's when you're getting into business this year.
No, I think safety conscious.
Fund safety.
Money safety.
Money safety.
Okay.
Get a lawyer.
Also
sign
trust.
a paper.
Trust. Yeah. Good.
That's what
Don't just believe because the person is dead.
Good.
If your best friend, make sure you sign. Get a lawyer.
That is a very important aspect of it.
Let's allow him land with his thought before he forgets what he's trying to say.
Now, when you have this done, like you mentioned, a lawyer, set your goal, agree on the terms before you really pass the money. Then let's bring those that you know that will monitor the money and always review. Don't give your money and continue with your work and think that at the end of the year they will give you. No, just always call for meetings. I tell my mates, like, we have to be like the big boys. Now, the big boys must not be when you are big. You have to, from 10,000 naira, assuming you can get somebody that will run a business for you. I'll take a cue on what I did while I was in the university. I thought I had always wanted to be an employee of labor.
Yes.
So I got a photocopier. Then I bought it for 45,000. I rented a space.
You were a very rich student.
I tried. Then I rented an office space, and I had one guy, Tony, work for me. Tony was always manning the place. So I'll come to the class, and I'll tell everybody in the class, if you want to photocopy your handouts, if you want to photocopy books, give them to me, and I'll call Tony. Tony will come pick them, photocopy, and come and distribute them. I'm sure my classmates who are watching will remember.
So there was delivery service attached.
Yes, what I did then was I was trying my MD's
entrepreneurial skills.
The CEO mentality, the chairman mentality, and it can still work. The principles are the same. Now, if you have it, get someone working. The same way your boss shouts at you in the office and you are on your toes doing the job very well, follow that after the man you have given your money. Don't give somebody your money and you relax and think, oh, because I've given him my money, how is our business doing now?
Fine.
Get involved.
If you're not monitoring them, they will outsmart you.
Yes.
You understand? So you have to be involved in that. Then if you are someone and you are not working and you want to get into business, now what have you done? What are the things that you did that failed, and how did they fail? Now, if you don't want to go in that line, what value are you going to create? I always say when you create value, once you create value, people will give you money for it.
Yep.
It might take time.
Yes.
Once you create value, look for value to create.
Is it safe for us to say in 2020, look for value to create?
That's
and
all.
You will make
That's what people are paying
also,
for. People are paying for value.
Look for a need.
Look for a
need. And meet that need. Create value, look for a need, meet the need. People will look for you all over.
Can we title today's program Money Making 101?
There's
it's beginning to sound like it, yeah.
Something Chuk said that I think everybody watching should really pay attention to. A few things I'd like to pick from there. You want to do business. You're discussing with people about business. The truth of the matter is that in this environment, we really have a problem with integrity, and it aches me, it gets me angry.
It's difficult.
Integrity is a problem for us as Nigerians. Please, if you're discussing business with people, even if you have met them, you haven't met them, can you take time to do some level of background check? Ask questions about the people.
Who are they?
Get back and find out what has he been doing the past few years, what kind of problems, who has he done business with before. And for goodness sake, if you have any doubts, you smell anything that looks like an integrity issue, don't bother to go forward.
Unplug.
Yes. Then another thing I always say is that it's my own personal, call it cliche, call it whatever. You prepare for war in the time of peace. You prepare for war in the time of peace. You don't get to the battleground, you don't get to the front of the battle, and you don't have missiles, you don't have ammunition.
What are you driving at with
What am
that?
I saying?
Prepare.
Before you start, like Chuk said, that is when you prepare. You start the business, you sign the contract, you conduct from inception as if everything will go wrong.
Right.
Because it's not when things go wrong at the end of the day, you suddenly discover you don't have a defense.
No plan.
People are asking you, did you sign any documents? You're looking like an idiot. And the annoying thing is that you look at it, there are people that you're more intelligent than, you're more educated than, they are smarter than you.
taking advantage
so what was the
of
value of
you.
the school you went to? So you prepare as if from the business, as if everything has gone wrong. You ask yourself as you want to enter into the business, what if this thing gets bad at the end of the day? How do I rescue myself? I have a typical example. I was going to buy a car for my dad sometime. I had this beautiful idea to buy a car for my dad sometime about 4 years ago. It was an ex-colleague that we worked in the bank together. So he was done doing trading car business and all that. To cut the long story short, he needed me to give him some advance to get the car and all that. But then he said, oh, the brand I wanted was not going to come from Europe. It's going to come from wherever. And that means somebody else, it has to be gotten from Cotonou and all that. So he now says he has an agent. How much I was going to pay? Certain sum of money, hundreds of thousands. Okay, I should pay it directly into the guy's account. I said, no.
That's the key.
I don't know him.
Hold him responsible.
You are the person I'm dealing with.
Beautiful.
When I give you money, anyway, like, give it to. So I'm going to transfer the money to you. Even if I don't have a receipt, I have an evidence of a movement of funds from my account to your account. Yep. Believe you me, that singular decision saved me as we're standing today.
Of course.
That car, as we speak, more than 6 years ago, has not been delivered as we're talking. But I have my money.
Good. Of course.
So I prepared as if the transaction was already faulty ab initio. Yes. I gave him the money. So
you were a banker, right?
No, that was Anambra. That was Anambra. Anambra sense in her plate. You know, Anambra people are wonderful.
Because I'm wondering, risk management, banking, all of these things.
This is street sense.
You know the thing.
Exactly.
You know the thing. You just took the words out of my mouth.
It's street sense.
In Nigeria, as in any other climb, we have to be book smart and street smart.
Street smart.
Yes. Book smart is not enough anymore.
You have to be street smart as well.
Even in schools now, in medical schools, in engineering schools, law schools, they are introducing entrepreneurial skills.
It should be.
They're introducing management skills.
Common sense skills.
Leadership skills.
Yes.
They're introducing money management skills. If you suddenly decide, okay, you don't want to practice medicine because this was not your first love in the first place, your parents forced you to go study medicine because they want to be.
But really, even if you're a doctor or whoever, you are going to be a manager at some point.
Yes, you have
to manage. A friend of mine who's a medical doctor took an MBA course after we discussed. He took an MBA course because he said he wanted to understand the business
money
part
flow.
of it.
Yes.
After an MBA course, he took a finance something course in LBS on how to appropriate finance and everything. So what he is doing is that he's equipping himself to become
an entrepreneur, be able to run a hospital, manage people and money.
Hospital management based on competence of the doctor.
No.
Hospitals are run.
There's hospital management.
Yes, you have to run.
There's hospital management. It has administrators.
Yes.
The health sector have administrators.
Yes.
Right.
But really, sorry, I want to come in there. Chooks, I'm used to you. You always say something for the layman on the streets. Not everybody can go to LBS.
Of course not.
It's so expensive. So within our context and for the layman on the streets, can you find a mentor that is successful in business?
Mentorship is like
attach
the
yourself
key
to somebody that is doing the kind of business you want to do.
Yes.
Find someone successful in the particular business you're doing and make that place your university
that brings us to one advice we want you to go away from the program today. We complain a lot about no job and people wanting you to apply for a job with 10 years experience when you have not gotten the job in the first place. One good way to get experience is attaching yourself to a mentor.
Apprenticeship,
you're getting
internship,
apprenticeship, you're learning, and at the same time you can quote that as an experience when you're not
Experience.
going to get a paid job.
It is an experience.
10 course later,
It is an
right?
experience.
Now, this is all about education at the end of the day. Now, some people are in school, whether they are our children, whether they are us, or people even older. I'm in school. People are getting back to school, and maybe you finished the year. I know our school calendar is this is like we're not starting a new session, a
Almost
new
ended.
term,
Yes.
second term, right? But you might have left school and thought, 2020 I didn't do so well, last year wasn't good, my grades were down. You want to set target for yourself. How do you meet these targets, academic targets that you set for yourself? Reading, how do you read, where do you read? Are you supposed to change your friends? What do you say to people who have that kind of challenge?
I picked from the sorry doctor.
Yes.
Friends, social media. How often? What do you spend most of your time
Doing.
on?
Yes.
Because sometimes you see that a student has the book, his or her book, on her
Table in front of
table.
the table.
Beside her is her phone. It's either you want to read or you want to ping.
Yes.
So set a timetable for your reading.
You cannot ping and read at the same time.
You set a timetable for your reading. Put aside your phone. we had lived without phones. Switch it off if need be. Focus on this. No areas that you defaulted. Improve on those areas. And once you're a student and you have your time on your book steadily, before you know it, you're mastering it. So again, the kind of friends you have. Because even in business, your kind of friends should matter. Because you wouldn't keep friends who have negative vibes around you and expect to be positive. The comments they make, the discussions they bring on board, the kind of things they bring to discuss around you, they might just give you an impression that you felt that cause because of the lecturer. It might not be the lecturer. Look at yourself.
If it's the lecturer, how come 98% of the class pass? Only two.
That's something
it's not the same lecturer.
That's something I used to say. If you make an A, I made A. If you make a D, they gave me D.
They gave me
so
D,
please,
exactly.
if they actually gave you D, try and make an A.
try and make them give you an A.
Yes.
For me, there's an adage that says that if you run around with chickens, you will quack like chickens, right? But if you run around with eagles, you will soar like the eagles. And everybody wants to soar, right? If social media is a problem, which it is, block it out like he said.
It is.
But for me, the first thing to do, when you want to go back and press that reset button, is to go and get your syllabus. Every school has got a syllabus. They are making it in such a way that each term, they have partitioned the syllabus into terms.
Yeah.
They have made special books aside from the syllabus that the government has sent to the school. The school themselves, based on the books that they are using and their own specific curriculum, have fashioned out syllabuses for the year, from year 1 to year 6. And they have given it to the students. Even if you have to buy at an extra cost, parents have bought the syllabuses for the children. What is stopping you now from reading ahead of your teachers?
Great.
What is stopping you from preparing ahead of
some
your
people will
teachers?
resume in a week's time or so, others not. Maybe you were partying all through and you didn't read before now. You have a couple of days.
Why would a class of 50 or a class of 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, A to D, 100, sit down during prize giving day and only one student is taking all of their work? Does he or she have two heads? What did she do? Of course, we all learn at a different rate. We all assimilate at a different rate. We all understand at a different rate. If you know that your rate of assimilation and understanding is slower or lower than that of your peer,
do the extra work.
Do the extra work.
I like that.
Do the extra work. We have people who are dyslexic. We have people who have learning disabilities. The sooner these learning disabilities are identified and they are managed properly, the sooner that we'll be able to take good care of our learning abilities and help our children to grow in the right direction. But the first thing is first, work with your syllabus. Like he said, if your friends are not helping you, based on also the adage that I mentioned, discard them. But listen, those friends are also people's kids.
Right.
And they also need to help. So if you cannot change them to be better students, discard them. Because your future is at stake and the future of the country
so if you can,
is at stake.
If you can influence them,
if you can influence them for the
you
better.
can also set yourself a target to do a new program this year. Maybe you want to do an MBA, you want to go to LBA, you want to do a PhD, you've been procrastinating. Next week, get a form.
That is it.
You are going to add something to that.
Doctor,
this week. Don't do it next week.
Into what you have said, but I want to say something to somebody out there. Maybe it's a parent, or it's a student, or whatever you're learning. You see, there's this misconception about I'm not doing well because I'm not naturally intelligent. I'm not doing well because her intelligence is inherited and all that kind of excuses. So either the parent is giving an excuse for the child, or the child is giving an excuse that whatever. And I'm sorry, I beg to disagree. I think everybody has been created, God is not partial, with the capacity to improve and be intelligent. The thing that you students out there don't know is that your friends that give you the impression that, oh no, I don't read. The only thing I know is what the lecturer, my brain, is what do they call them, hot brains. Yes, I agree there are some people that naturally have a high level of IQ. But I can tell you, go and look well. That your friend reads when you are not aware.
Exactly.
I say that because I'm also, one of the best in my class.
Angelica, you did that.
I was always reading. Forget that thing.
And you come and be playing.
I know. I was always
that was what
reading.
I was doing. I'll read in the night and
this thing reminds me so much about, everybody knows about Ben Carson. If you read his story, I read one of his books I was taken aback. he was the worst student in his class.
And that was because he had poor
poor
eyesight.
Dumb and unintelligent.
Yes.
Until the mother, having, like you said, it rubs or scratch around with the chicken, you scratch around, good. She started associating with this family where she was a cleaner, and she noticed that the children of the aristocrats, this was the habit they had. And you were saying, oh, they went to the best schools, but you were not there to see what the effort the parents were putting up at home. She learnt that culture from the family where she was a cleaner.
Yes.
She went home and transferred it to her children.
Yes.
Just like Chuk said, one of the things Ben Castle said the mother did was to shut down TV.
That's it.
TV time was regulated. They had the time to read. He said immediately his grace stopped, skyrocketed. And we don't need to say so much. You already know who Ben Castle is today.
Exactly.
One time United States presidential aspirant.
Absolutely.
Candidate.
You need to put in that effort.
So we need to put in the effort.
And then another thing that she didn't mention in the Ben Castle story was that he actually had poor eyesight and he was sitting at the back of the class. And they had an ophthalmologist come into their school one time and they were asking them to read. He couldn't read. So they discovered that he had poor eyesight. So we also have to help our children and do our usual.
Make sure you get your eyes checked.
Pay attention to your children.
Your ear checked.
Eyes
so that
checked,
make sure you can
ears
hear.
checked.
Eyes checked.
I think every once in 2 years.
Ears checked.
I'm not sure
eye checked,
how often
mouth
you should have
checked.
your eyes checked.
Be sure that there's nothing bugging this child in the mouth. Toothache is a horrible ache. It's almost as bad as childbirth ache.
Should we then talk about, blood runs?
Sure
we don't have that culture in Nigeria, do we?
What culture?
People would do blood runs once in a year to check their what do you call it, total health checkup.
I do twice a year.
You do twice a year, but you're a very weird person.
Are you a hypochondriac?
in this environment. If you do that, I don't ever.
Nigerians don't really have the habit of going for health checks.
Yes,
because really our health sector, our health services are not that wonderful. You understand? Imagine
it's not even whether the health sector is wonderful or not. It's poverty.
That's it now.
Because
it's not of it.
The money that you use to go to the hospital and go and tell them, please check me when there's nothing wrong with you. You will use it to cook better soup.
Dr. Jenny, it's new. I don't want to talk about poverty.
Invest in a business because it's 2020.
Let's talk about
something
work
that we're
ethics.
doing in our space in Nigeria, right?
Yes.
There are a lot of people who are postulating and propagating and promulgating what's it called?
Procrastinating?
No, not procrastinating. Promulgating entrepreneurial skills.
Right.
They want to be mentors to people like TEF, Tony Elumelu Foundation, and the other people on the other smaller level. These are the things that we should key into. For diverse,
The thing is at every level, there's a Tony Elumelu.
Yes.
You may not be able to get there, but like we said, you see, go down to the east. It works well in the east.
There are people that have resolving.
I need to go for Tony Elumelu.
I know.
I coach on business, and people I did last year are still prospering.
I volunteer for an NGO, right? I volunteer for an NGO, right? Helplines Foundation, and they have this revolving loan scheme that they have for women in
microfinance.
Not even a microfinance, it's just an NGO and women who are in disadvantaged position. And what happens is that they give you like 20,000
women
each.
Empowerment.
Exactly, and it's amazing the kind of result they've gotten with that. So you were just saying it does not have to be that high. It does not matter where you are, and you'll be amazed at what 10,000 can do to somebody's life.
That is it.
Probably your Chinese lunch.
Let me give you a story, a true life story. When I was working in Port Harcourt, I met a lady who was selling clothes, and she met me and said, because I had started this business talk, she now asked me. She was in one of the events I organized, and she asked me, how can I make money? I told her, what have been your challenge? She said that the clothes she sells, people buy them on credit.
That's the biggest problem.
And I told her, switch on what they can't buy credit. She said, what? I said, do moi.
Exactly.
Do you know that woman? I know what it's. We're talking about blowing. She succeeded.
She blew.
Wonderful.
With moi. And you can imagine how much she started with that.
Next to nothing.
Maybe no more than 10,000.
Let me tell you this.
10,000. That's a lot of money.
Moi cuts across every person. As a rich man, you eat moi.
Yes. As a
poor man, you eat moi. One moi and a bottle of soda. You're good.
You're done.
Okay, because we're international and we know that this program is on not just our local network but international as well. Moi moi is a delicacy made from beans.
Yes.
Bean pudding.
It's bean pudding. It's not bean cake. Bean cake is akara, right?
Bean pudding.
It's bean pudding. It is yummy-licious.
That is just the nearest way to explain
You will find a way to make it and tell us what you think about that particular dish.
You can Google it in YouTube and find how to use it.
This woman moved out of poverty with that, because sometimes you're struggling in a business and you know that this business is not giving you what you want, but because they looked down on that business. Sometimes one of the things I would encourage our viewers to do this is put aside pride.
That is it.
Most people are suffering today because of pride.
Yes.
A lot of people have abandoned what would have given them money because they would have looked at themselves, how can I be the one to do this?
Yes.
See, people will always address you at the level they met you. If you're a momo seller or a bean cake seller, they'll call you Madam Bean Cake. If you turn out from there tomorrow to be a bank CEO, they'll call you Bank CEO.
Yes.
Forget about what people tell you now. Focus on your focus. If you focus on your focus, you become a focus. You become the focus.
I think I've learned.
You become the focus.
If you focus on your focus, you become the focus.
Yes.
Okay. What do we say to people? You know this phrase they say it is. I don't want to use the word dumb. Did I just use it? For you to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result.
Okay.
Some people have issues with work ethic, right? Whether it's your personal business or you work for the government or for a private organization, maybe you're prone to coming to work late or you procrastinate about meeting targets. Well, you probably work from home the time you're not physically present in the office.
Yeah,
so we might not use you as sometimes I do all the work I need to do
at home, yes.
before 7 a.m. before I get to the office.
You're
so
right.
I'm pretty much just, making sure everything is in place. So it depends. You set yourself a target a day and if you can do it in 2 hours and move on to other things, why not, right? But we have people who probably have an habit. Maybe they've not identified it. Maybe they know it. And that's what has hindered them from
succeeding
the year before. This is a new year. What are we saying to them?
Clean up your act.
Change.
Reset.
People
that are what?
Say that reset button. I know a specific person, I'm not going to mention names.
Work ethics.
This person is a hard worker, but the biggest flaw that this person has is to keep to time. You can have an appointment for 8 a.m. 10 a.m. this person is not there. I'm telling you. It's a big problem.
Is that not part of the new resolution?
But somehow or the other, this person is very successful. And the people that she works with have come to realize that this is where this person is. Whatever time she comes in here, she gives it her best. Let's just walk around her.
Wow.
But
is that the best?
That's not the best. If
you're doing that much with that, then if she can adjust,
she needs to adjust.
Now, aside that, people around her are looking at her, and when people around you if the people around her begin to do the way they do, you see that there won't be structure. When you have a time, walk towards it.
That's it.
When the time says 8 o'clock, come to work 8 o'clock. It's sometimes not easy. It's not comfortable, but when you do it continuously for like 3 weeks, it becomes part of you.
This also is that not meeting up time is not really the issue. It's when it becomes habitual and you're known for that.
No, this one is habitual.
This is habitual.
This person is known for it. But one way or the other, the person's life is successful.
For 2020,
catch it. What is it?
But it is not the best.
What is
for
it?
2020, there's an advice I want to leave.
Yes.
To our viewers and to ourselves.
Yes.
One of the key things you need to do is, even if you don't have the finance to add value, find a way to add value morally, spiritually.
Yes.
There is always someone you're better than. Now, I found out this part of life towards the 2019, and it has helped my thinking, has helped everything about me. Now, there are wealth redistributors.
Yes.
Now, when you know that whatever you don't have, you don't need at the point that you have, may have been given to you to give to others, find a way to let it go.
Yes.
Now, if you let it go, that which you need will always find its way to you.
Yes. Now, taking from his book, I have a very good friend, and this is what she does for a living.
His book?
It is, yes, taking a leaf from his book. It is called the Swap Party. It is called the Swap Party Declutter.